Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Sheldon, and this is another episode of Behind the Enthusiast. Today, we're going to be talking about my 2017 Suzuki DRZ 400 SM, and the reason for that is because this is my dream bike. We're not actually going to be talking about why it's my dream bike. We're going to be talking about it because it is part of the reason why I became a motorcycle enthusiast. So, let's put on some gear and go for a ride.
Alrighty guys, so I'm out here on my DRZ and I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I became a motorcycle enthusiast. Now, this is going to be a very interesting story of when I was younger, and basically I had no interest whatsoever in motorcycles when I was younger. I mean, I had some die-cast, toys that I could display. I had, 6 or 8 of them. And I didn't really, I thought they were cool, but I never really wanted to ride them really all that much. I was more into cars, and the thing is, my dad ended up giving my brother and I this VHS set of bike wars and car wars. So I was always watching trials and other forms of racing to begin with, but the interest was never really there 100%. And basically I was a late bloomer, I guess, to cut it short. Because I couldn't drive, that's why I focused mainly on riding my bike around. I had many different bicycles, hand-me-downs and whatnot, garage sale bikes that were worth like $20. And eventually I saved up enough money for BMX. That was truly the first two-wheeled sport that I loved, was BMX racing. It was something that seemingly was cheap. It seemed like something that I could get into. And so I just naturally gravitated towards that, and I ended up doing it for a very, very brief stint. And I don't know, in my early 20s, I guess it was. And I don't know, I ended up crashing. And so, I don't know, I think that kind of deterred me from going back to it. And so it was very short-lived. And then later in life, probably, actually, let's hold on a second. So, I was probably in my early 20s when I actually did get my motorcycle license originally. So, my brother and I really wanted to get our motorcycle licenses, and so we ended up getting them. I ended up, riding a dirt bike for the test, and I passed, didn't have any issues. The issue ended up being that I couldn't actually get a bike. Now, I don't remember when this was exactly, but I had to have been my early 20s. And so the BMX racing, I think, was probably around the same time, maybe a little bit later. And basically, they happened around the same time, but they weren't really related. And so I ended up not getting my license. I couldn't find a bike. It was too much money. Insurance was too much money. Yada, yada, yada. So what I ended up doing was letting my license expire. I just gave up on it. Then I heard some horror stories of, people who have gone on motorcycles and just didn't have very good experiences, whether they got injured or, something more serious, obviously. And basically, I I was scared to get my license ever again. Even though I'd never actually been out on a motorcycle. And so it was really weird, having had my license, letting it expire, and thinking, I'll just get it later when I can afford it. But then with all these people telling me all these crazy stories, almost like they were trying to deter me from getting my license again, it took me basically 10 years. 10 years down the road, I ended up getting my current job, which is working at a Harley dealership. And for some reason, that really changed things for me. I ended up getting my license and becoming really, enthusiastic, if you will, about riding again. And it was really nice. And so I ended up getting to ride demos from work, which is always a bonus. And when I first got my license, obviously I had to get my dream bike, which is my 2017 Suzuki DRZ 400 SM, which is what I'm riding right now. And so what ended up happening was when I got my M2, it was right around my birthday, so I ended up going to learning curves, passed with flying colors, no pun intended, and I ended up getting this bike for my birthday as a present to myself, and it's been great to me. And so I ended up, like I said, having the privilege of riding some Harleys as well because of where I work. And it basically just kind of took off from there. Like, the whole interest in motorcycles was just renewed. Like, it was like embers that have been sitting there for 10 years. And basically I ended up wanting to ride again. Got my license and everything. And ended up reigniting that flame, the passion, being a motorcycle enthusiast, because to be completely honest, I wasn't really feeling it for cars anymore for quite some time after I left the car club, and I parked my Subaru, and so I guess in a way motorcycles kind of saved me, because I guess I was depressed to some degree. Obviously not super depressed, it wasn't extreme by any means, but there was a form of depression, a level of depression that was kind of holding me back, with things not going well, and finding a career and everything else. And the new job and riding motorcycles really just turned my life around, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this, and it's just super amazing to be able to ride a motorcycle and to just feel the joy and the freedom of it. And so I guess that's more or less how I became a motorcycle enthusiast. I kind of stopped being interested in cars, and I was having some bad luck, got a new job, and that new job ended up being amazing. It got me back into motorcycles, and I could not be happier, really. So it's pretty awesome that I get to do this. I get to ride a motorcycle, I get to work at a dealership. It doesn't even matter that it's a Harley dealership. It's just the fact that I'm working at a motorcycle dealership is just freaking awesome. So it could be a Honda dealership, and I probably wouldn't care too much, but the just the opportunity, like, it's so awesome. And I really hope that you guys have similar stories of how you got into motorcycles, just life, throwing you curveballs and, this basically being your recovery, or, your therapy or whatever, and it's freaking awesome. So I'm so grateful for this, and I know that I could probably talk a little bit longer, but it's already probably about 10 minutes, so I just want to keep things short and sweet for you guys. And if I find something else that I've missed or whatever, I'll tack it on later on with maybe some random footage of the bike or of me riding, whatever. But that's pretty much how I became a motorcycle enthusiast, and as you guys can tell, I'm loving it. I got multiple bikes. I got more than one. I just picked up that Yamaha pretty recently. So, I'm gonna go finish this vlog though. I've got a location in mind, so I hope you guys like the ending of this video. Alright, well guys, here we are at Welland County Speedway. This is the next chapter in Behind the Enthusiast. So, in order for you guys to find out why I'm here, make sure to subscribe so you guys get notified when I post the video. So, basically, that's it. Next chapter, if you will, is up and coming. So if you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button. Leave any comments you guys have down below. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Ride safe.